Good evening, everybody. I'm Dimitri,
And I'm Charlton.
and welcome to another edition of the Greenhouse Effect. We just put the kids to bed, so now we're relaxing with a little bit of wine and dine here. So, hey, tonight we're going to do a little thing called story time.
So we're going to tell y'all how we met. I think it's important with us being new to YouTube, giving y'all a little bit of insight on us and who we are as a couple, and show where we are right now.
Quick disclaimer, when there's a version of talking about the first time people met, there's usually two sides to how the story works. It's usually the male version and the female version. So, hey, who do you guys believe?
Okay, so you want to start?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and start out. So, all right, I was a military veteran, did 20 years in the Air Force, and the Air Force so happily sent me to Eielson Air Force Base in Fairbanks, Alaska. Actually, it was an assignment that I swapped to get. I was supposed to be going to Charleston Air Force Base in South Carolina, but I thought that was a little too close to home, so swapped assignments with another airman, and I got to go to Alaska. Going to Alaska, had never really been away from home. I guess the furthest I'd been away from home was Wisconsin for like maybe 2 or 3 weeks, but after that, I mean, I really hadn't been away from home.
And so for me, I am a military brat. So my father did 30 years in the Air Force. So the reason I was in Alaska was, of course, because my dad had orders. So we were living up there, and I was going to high school. So I was 16. I believe this was summer of
96.
And my parents decided that I needed, summer employment. So long story short, I did all the application and paperwork to get a summer job working on the base. Plus, we lived on base as well, so I needed some money for the summer so I can hang out with my friends, go to movies, all that good stuff. So my sister, she came up for the summer from college, and my best friend, we all got jobs at different places. So we would decide, before cell phones, y'all, we decided we would meet for lunch at a certain time. My sister was driving, so she picked me up, and then she went and picked up my best friend. So we're headed to go get something to eat, and as my sister's driving, I'm sitting in the front passenger side of the car, and I see this guy walking, and he got like a little bit of swag, to him, and it looks like he's kind of like, just he walking nice, and so I'm like, dang, he fine. So my friend was like, well, I dare you to yell out the window, you're so fine. So my sister proceeds to roll down the driver's side, and I yell out, you're so fine. And he looks over, and we keep driving, and we're just, we start bust out laughing.
Okay, so I'm gonna go back a little bit. So that particular day, I had just gotten off work, and I went home, changed my clothes, and got ready to go to the gym. They had one gym on base, and at the time I didn't have a car. So, like I said, I was brand new to the military, no car at all. Didn't have a whole lot of money. I didn't have money. I was an E1. I think we made like $800 a month back then in '96. So, yeah, I was broke as a joke. So, I got to stepping down the road, walking towards the gym, and I'm on the left side of the road, and before you know it, I see this car going by, and I see this crazy girl yelling out the window, "You're so fine!"
Crazy. Okay, that's the first time I heard that.
I'm like that. So I'm like 18. So I'm, like I said, I'm 18 years old. I'm like, okay, I hear this. So I'm like, okay, I see where it's coming from. So now I'm looking down the road. I'm watching the car go down the road. Car makes a left turn into the exchange parking lot.
And the exchange is pretty much just a retail store for military and their family members. So anyways, my sister and my friend decide they need to get out for whatever reason. They're going into the store. So I'm like, I'm just going to hang back. So I'll wait for y'all. So have the car running and listen to the radio. And I'm just sitting there. There's, no cell phones or nothing. I'm just listening to the radio. And I hear a knock on the window. And I look over, and it's this one, all slim, no mustache, no nothing. He's talking about, So
roll your window down.
I'm
shawty.
mortified because I'm like, oh my God, it's the guy from that I saw walking. I'm like, get yourself together. So I nervously rolled down the window and
I was like, what your name is? I'm like, what's your name? What's your name? I mean, okay, let's keep it simple. What's your name? Tell me your name. Where you from? Where you live? All that good stuff. I'm trying to get to know you.
So I'm super nervous, and I tell him my name, and he tells me his, and I don't even remember like the conversation.
I think it was very basic.
It was real vague, very short, but at the end he was like, "You got a phone number?" So of course, again, back in the day, no cell phones. I gave him the house phone.
Right.
So I find this little yellow piece of paper in a car, and I think I found a red pen, and I proceed to write my phone number down, and I'm on there. I'm like, don't call past 10, because call past 10, Daddy gonna answer the phone. Now there's a problem.
Yep. So took the number, and I walked on to the gym, did my thing in the gym, played a little bit of basketball, went back, and I think maybe the next day, I called, and the phone call kind of went on for a little while. And at some point, we made the decision to try to meet up.
So yes, he would call, and I think the night that he called, my dad actually answered the phone. And he's like, "Who's calling?" So he's like, "Charlton, there's Dimitri on the phone." So I run to the room, hit the long cord, go in the room, close the door, and we chat for a little bit. And so he lived in what you call, I guess, the barracks dormitory, which is where all the single airmen live on base. Usually first term airmen, they have to stay on the base, and then once they've proved that they are financially stable, they can move off base. So he gives me his room number, and
at the time I had a roommate, and my roommate was actually his phone. So I gave her the phone number of his because again, I didn't have one. So we just kind of took that time and just started talking back and forth. And there was one day where, let me rewind. When I worked on base, around 11 o'clock, we would go to lunch. So normally the single airmen would go over to the dining hall, grab some lunch, and then go back to their rooms until their ride came to pick them up. So at the time, Shelton was working right next to the dining facility on her summer job. So I remember seeing her over there, and I'm like, okay, hey, maybe this is a good time for us to meet up. So meet her over at her job, and I said, hey, you should come back over to my room one time so we could go and have a little conversation.
And that's exactly what it was, conversation. So I said sure, because you're not supposed to have, a dependents or people that are not living in the dorms there. So of course I was super nervous. Plus my dad was, I believe at the time, a senior master sergeant. So he's high up in the ranks, well known on the base, and it's like, yeah, behave. So we just went to his dorm room, and we just kind of like chatted, and
we ain't chat, we made out.
That's it. He was super tall, slim, and he was really, really nervous. I remember
very.
He kissed me, and it wasn't even that long.
It was just basic pecking kisses. And
just that flirting attraction, young love, I guess.
Right. And that was really the extent of it. But again, so for everybody that wasn't in the military and that was in school, this was the summertime. So time went on a little bit, and we would talk back and forth. And then I don't know what happened. I don't know whether it was because, the summer ended or because I started to kind of get a little bit deeper into work. The phone calls kind of faded away a little bit, and we kind of lost contact.
We went in separate ways. I was going back to high school. Like, he was, he'd graduated. He's a grown man. So it was no such thing as really dating, a grown man. So I went back to high school, and we just kind of lost touch with each other. I never remember ever really calling him again. So fast forward my junior year, Eielson was very small. Everybody knew everybody. My graduating class was like 56, 67 people. I don't remember the number. Very small in numbers. So this was, I believe, junior prom. And my friends and I were talking and sitting in the halls talking. And one of my friends was like, hey, y'all, I met this guy. And it was in the morning because I was at my locker. And she's like, I met this guy. And so I'm, listening. And she's like, yeah, he's tall, dark, and he's in the Air Force. And so in my mind, I don't know that many guys in the Air Force. So I'm just thinking of Dimitri. I don't know why. He just came to the forefront of my brain. So I'm listening intently. And then she's like, yeah, he's tall, and he 18, blah, 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 blah. And then she goes, his name's Dimitri. Yeah, my heart stopped. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's my Dimitri. That's my man. Like, I met him first, but of course, I never told anyone about him. But it was just the fact that my friend also knew him and was talking to him. So I was a little salty about that, and I just let it go because I'm like, I hadn't seen him for a while, and we never claimed to, be together. It was just more of just a chance meeting.
Right, a moment in time. It was a moment in time. But it was one of those moments in time that you don't forget, because I think even after that moment, it was something that stayed on my mind. But again, like with school and with me being in the military and trying to figure that whole thing out and trying to just get adjusted to being on my own, it was a little different. It was just a little challenging to continue that on. Also, like Chelsea said, she was 16 at the time. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, is what I'm doing a legal thing to be doing? So, like I said, when we were in the dorm room and we were making out, I had to kind of think about it. I said, I'm 18. I still haven't figured life out. And I don't want to put her in a position where I'm hurting her because of what I'm feeling down below.
Being a player.
Exactly.
And so that's really the story. It just, like I said, we never really, after that, we just lost touch. But he just always was that person that stayed in my mind for years. But I just, after we left Alaska, he was already gone. That was it. Like, it was just kind of like a summer fling, and I just figured I'd never see him again. So if y'all want to hear how we met up again, you have to let us know in the comment section.
Yeah, like, subscribe, and do all that good stuff if you like the content that you see here.
Oh, and one more thing, if you like our shirts, it's a great company I follow called Beacon Threads. It's a Christian company. They have a great positive message. And I just happened to buy these shirts for us. Didn't think we'd wear them for the video, but it turns out it was a nice look. So I will go ahead and provide their website down for you. And
Stella Peach, $11.99.
Good stuff.
Please
good
believe
stuff.
it.
Very good stuff. That's our go-to, just kind of
for sure
to keep us.
For sure.
When we need to have some downtime without the kids, without the twins. This is our time. So again, we thank y'all so much for watching. Please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and we will see y'all later.
Peace.
Okay, this was a guy that I saw walking. By the way, he was walking. He was
We gotta do this all over.
Isaiah, come here.
Come here. Stop that.
Well, at least we can look at it.